Hi everyone, I'm here today with part one of my winter book haul. My winter book haul is basically going to be all of the books that I collected that I haven't yet shown you from November, December and January. So this first part is going to kick us off with all the NetGalley books that I received in November and December. I received all these books from the various different publishers via NetGalley in return for an honest review. The first book I have to show you is Blood for Blood by Ryan Gordon, and this is the second and final book in Wolf by Wolf duology. And this is a historical fiction duology. I have the first book, I haven't read it yet. I've heard really great things about these two books, so I'm hoping to get to these soon. The next book I have to show you is Miss Tredway and the Field of Stars by Miranda Emerson, where a actress goes missing and a young woman goes on a hunt to find out what happened to her because no one else seems to be caring about the case any longer because it has just been open and unsolved for too long. The next book I have to show you is Before the Rains by Dinah Jeffries, and I am so excited to read this book. This is another historical fiction. I'm looking a bit historical fiction obsessed with this haul so far. Well, this is a historical fiction and it's set in 1930 in India, and I really love this author's work. I read The Tea Planter's Wife a couple of years ago and I just adored it. The writing was just fantastic. I'm just so excited to read more by this author because her writing is just phenomenal and she always has really different settings in places where you've probably never read about before. Then we have Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinsborough, and this one really caught my eyes. It seems to be some sort of thriller. The description is just absolutely fantastic. It says, "Don't trust this book, don't trust this story, don't trust yourself." So that has just pulled me in. I'm really intrigued by that. Then we have 2 Days Gone by Randall Silvis. This is about a college professor who is accused of murdering his family, and then one of the police officers investigating the case gets dragged into quite a dangerous sort of scenario while investigating. So sounds really interesting and I really love that sort of book. Next we have The Yorkshire Witch by Summer Strevens, and this is a historical fiction again, where on the morning of 20th of March 1809 a woman entitled The Yorkshire Witch was hung in York. This is something that I really can't wait to get my teeth stuck into. It sounds really interesting. As I've said several times already in this video, I love a historical fiction. I'm not sure if I've ever read a historical fiction in York or about the hanging of witches. This is what intrigued me to it and sort of pulled me to it all the same. Then we have Girl Unknown by Karen Perry, and I've already read this one. This is a psychological thriller. I've got a full written review up, so if you want to know more about this one, just follow the link. That will be in the description below. Then we have The Return of the Witch by Paula Braxton. And to be honest, I can't remember an awful lot about this one. I have a feeling it might be part of a series and I own the first one or whatever and possibly just haven't read it yet. I don't really know. It's a really pretty cover though. Next we have TheOne by John Mars, and this is confusing me a little bit because this one is described as being a psychological thriller, but it seems to also be about finding the one via sort of science and mouth swabs and DNA, as in like the romantic The One. I don't really know, I'm quite curious and need to know more by reading it. Then we have Frostblood by Ellie Blake. And I've seen this one on a couple of people's channels on BookTube. I don't know an awful lot about it, and I'm a little bit nervous about it because I'm getting a bit of a Red Queen vibe to it, so I'm really hoping that I enjoy it a lot more than that series. Then we have The Language of Dying by Sarah Pinborough, and I am really interested in this one because it's got such an interesting idea behind it. It's about a family who witness another family member dying and about how time passes, and it just looks a really interesting and thought-provoking read. Then we have another one that I've seen quite a few people hauling recently, and I've not really seen any reviews for it yet though, and that is The One Memory of Flora Banks by Emily Barr. And this is about a young girl who basically just only has memories from the age of 10, I think. So each day she might do something like, for example, kiss someone. The next day she won't remember kissing them or even remember that person. And I think this will be a really interesting read if it's done in the right way. It is YA, so it may not be done in the right way, but we'll have to wait and see. It might surprise us. Then we have Big Mushy Happy Lump by Sarah Anderson. And this is one, again, that I've already read. I haven't got a review up for it yet, I don't think. If I have, and when I do, I'll leave a link in the description down below. And finally, we have Follow Me Back by A.V. Geiger. And this is looking really, really interesting, actually. It's a psychological thriller, but it's got really modern day times twisted into it. So it's a story that is told mainly via like social media. So there's a lot of Twitter involved in this, and somehow this all comes together in a psychological thriller kind of way. And I'm really, really, really keen to get to this one very soon. So this is the end of part 1 of this book haul. Thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in any of these books, want to see me review them sooner rather than later, or if you have any of these books and are desperate to get to them or have anything to say about any of them, drop me a comment down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me, and I will see you on Wednesday with my weekly reading wrap up. Bye bye!